Test, test, test. All right. Forgot to change the mic. When I change the mic, or whether I'm at work or here at home, I have to change the microphone. All right, test it. Okay, so we're good now. All right, so the links are at the top of the chat, ramseycoach.com/coachstevemoney for a free financial coaching consultation assessment. You can email about anything at coachstevemoney@gmail.com, and donations are at paypal.me/coachstevemoney. All righty, and every Monday I do alternating tech support or Ramsey coach support, and on those I go to the affiliated subreddit and answer questions or comment on things that people have posted. So we're here at reddit.com/r/tech support, and we click new to sort by new, so we get the newest things that people have posted, like this one. Just now, even. Internet is being dodgy after Spectrum upgrade. Uh-oh. Let's see what's going on. Our apartment recently upgraded internet service from Spectrum. We were previously receiving 200 megabits per second down and 10 up. Now it's doubled. Okay, cool. But now we're getting frequent connection drops, mainly on our 5 gigahertz band. I've restarted our devices and all that, but to no avail. Is there something I'm missing in order to get a more stable connection, flushing of any caches, or resetting our router or anything? Well, if it's a combination cable modem / router, that would be the 5 gigahertz band, would be the router. If it's a combination box, and if they changed it for you, that could just be a problem with the box. Call them and complain about it. If it's your router may be the problem, and how you figure that out is you connect the cable modem directly to a computer and test it that way and see if you're getting or see if you're getting the connection drops. So, but there's not. I mean, if you've power cycled the cable modem and the router, or if it's just one box that controls both, which sometimes Spectrum does provide those, then you can tell that way. And nobody is too new. Nobody else has commented. So maybe we'll come back to that one if I think about it and see if somebody else has commented on it. This from Nightmare Keys, 16 minutes ago. Need help recovering an MP4 file. Hi, can someone please help me recover an MP4 file? It was recorded on an Oculus Quest 2 and it's missing a ton of metadata. Its frame rate, width, height, length, etc. And I've not been able to recover it manually. And all the services that do recover it either are paid or only fix part of the video. If anybody has a solution, please comment on it. Or if you own a service that can recover videos, be happy to send you the broken video and a reference video from the same device. Okay, I don't know, like what he's saying. The MP4 file is on. Is it on like an SD card or a USB drive or something like that that is possibly corrupt? Or is it just everything else on the drive is fine, but the MP4 file is the problem? And so if that's the case, as far as fixing an MP4 file, I do not know. There's possibly services that can do that. Let's see. I haven't had any problem with any MP4 files ever. I understand if it's like a bad hard drive or something like that, or a bad USB flash drive, something like that, you might have corruption there. But like as far as everything's fine with the devices and it's just the file itself that's just corrupted, how you can fix an MP4 file. Let's see, MP4 file, yeah, corrupt. And the OP, which is original poster for this, probably tried all this, probably checked all this before. Where's it? Play the corrupt MP4 video with VLC media player. The Windows 10 users play both video and audio content using Windows Media Player, as it has received significant improvements, but it customarily fails to run corrupt or damaged multimedia files. So you can try the VLC media player. And so, as I say, right-click the corrupt MP4 file and right-click open with and select the VLC media player, and it will start playing, and so then you'll see if that will work. In VLC, the option to fix AVI files is given built in, which can be enabled or disabled manually. Let's see, a lot of users are reported that they face severe level corruption in their movie files recorded from digital cameras. Yeah, it doesn't say what caused the corruption. I mean, that can happen while you're trying to copy it, or, you know, et cetera, like I said, or if you have a bad device. Okay, so you would change the format to AVI, and then VLC has a fix AVI file. So that would be where I would lean to. Probably make a copy of even the corrupt file first before you try to repair it. So interesting. Yeah, I've never had any problem with that at all. Let's see. 18 minutes ago from Calm Conversation. Of course, this is going to be longer now because I haven't refreshed the page. So this is from longer ago now. Can I clear cache data from all my apps at once? I wonder if this is like a phone question. Oh yeah, it is for phone. Checked under storage to see if I could clear it all at once. Google suggests clearing the cache per app, still one by one, and storage only showed me cache files not related to the apps I have. Huh, let's see what somebody said. Files by Google on the Play Store. Delete junk file, the app still kept their cache. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, on a phone, I don't know. I don't know where that would be. I would assume something could do it, like another app, possibly, but I don't know right off the top of my head about what you would do about that. This is from the board man. Is my GPU dying? That stands for graphics processing unit, and that is a video card. Computer will occasionally no post and give me the missing video card. Beep error. Will boot after 10 to 15 minutes. That is weird. And that's what computer techs say when you tell them about a problem and they've never heard of it before, or they're like, they can't immediately think what would be the problem. They buy time by saying, that's weird. Machine cannot play 2 windowed YouTube videos at the same time without lagging. It was built as a video editing PC 3 years ago, so this is a long fall. Games that used to run smooth now lag. Don't recall any programs crashing or graphic glitches, which have been told are classic signs. Just lag and boot problems. If the computer will occasionally not post and give missing video card error, that could be the motherboard as well, could be power supply. There's any number of things. Let's see what else it says. It's a Radeon Pro. I don't know how I've been in the business for over 20 years. I don't know if that is that Radeon or Radon. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I know that's the AMD video card, which it used to be ATI. AMD bought them, and so now AMD does both video cards and CPUs. Central Processing Unit. WX 4100 is one GPU dying, and yeah, like I said, that could, I mean, it not posting and give you missing video. If it's not detecting that your video card is there, that's going to be the video card or the motherboard that's the card is plugged into, not seeing that the video card is there. Boots after 10 to 15 minutes. I don't know, maybe if it warms up. Let's see if I can help my boy out. Let's see. Did you remove and reinsert the video card? Other than that, it could be bad card, bad motherboard, bad RAM, bad power supply. Sorry, I can't narrow it down. Alrighty. This one from Uchiha Sky. A Windows issue, command prompt opening up. So for the past months I've been having an issue where a command prompt has been opening up and doing random stuff, then randomly disappearing after a while. Can anybody help me get rid of this issue? Because it has been causing me problems by unfocusing my tab when I'm in an application. Yeah, that's what it'll do. So it's starting that, okay. Yeah. Run Malwarebytes. To see if you have any infections. Beyond that, you can go into Task Manager, click the Start Up tab, and disable everything except antivirus. None of that works. Look at installed programs for anything you didn't install and remove them. Alrighty. Normally, I don't type stuff in, but when I can type it in really quickly, I go ahead and do it. This is by Shuriken Sean. Also another Windows issue. Both PCs crashing. So the past few days, I've noticed both my computers crashing. One is a desktop, the other a laptop tablet hybrid. Let me check to see if we're going here. Yes, we're good with video and sound. All right. The laptop, ironically, seems to blue screen when I go to Reddit on Firefox. Meanwhile, my desktop seems to freeze up while watching YouTube on it, and I have to restart it to get it to respond. I do run my desktop most of the day, so could it just be overheating? I saw another post saying to access Windows events logs to see what happened, but I'm not sure I know how to do that. Well, you Google how to access Windows event logs. That's how you do that. Which is that what the person put there? No, that's the auto moderator. Yeah, I mean that could be anything. It could be a virus or malware that you have on both computers now that is causing that. But the laptop ironically seems to blue screen when I go to Reddit on Firefox. Don't use Firefox. Use a different browser. To see if that's it. The problem is that particular website and or that particular browser. So you can use Edge, you can use Google Chrome, and so you can figure it out that way. Email desktop seems to freeze up while watching YouTube on it. I have to restart it to get it to respond. Yeah, it's just Malwarebytes. And scan with Malwarebytes. If one browser isn't working on one particular website, try a different browser. Google anything you don't know how to do. All right, that's by Kahi Coins. Okay, I'm having a problem with my Bluetooth drivers on Windows 10 not appearing in my device manager. Okay, well the drivers don't appear in device manager. The actual hardware appears in the device manager because that's the device. Having problems with Bluetooth connection. The speaker will not connect on my computer. I want to check if Bluetooth is turned off and there's no option to turn it on. Because happened a few months before, I went to device manager, reset the drivers, but when I checked, drivers were not there at all. Like they had completely disappeared from the device manager. I tried show hidden drivers. I'm installing drivers and okay, so if you've installed the drivers and it's still not there, then it scan for hardware changes. It's not seeing it. Not seeing it. Let's see, no comments yet on that. Boot to BIOS. Software that runs the motherboard. And make sure the Bluetooth is enabled. If it's not built into the motherboard and is a add-on card or USB receiver, the card or receiver could be bad. Try on a different computer. All right. Yeah, so it's going to be, let's say, It wasn't a problem until I had my PC shipped for repairs after I was having issues with the display. I know I can all buy an exit, right? Frustrating. I have a $1,200 piece of machinery. It doesn't even have the ability to hook up speaker to a blue pre-built Blaze 2 from Skytech Gaming. Let's just see if it has it in there. Google knows everything. Okay, so let's just look it up on the old. Let's see, does it say $1,200? How much is it? This is oh yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see the specs. Processor memory, graphics. It does not appear to have Bluetooth built on board. Let's do a find Bluetooth. Must spell it correctly. Bluetooth, no Bluetooth on this whole page. Let me check one more. Yeah, let's check the manufacturer's page. Sometimes they would have it in with networking. So, okay, here's going to be my guess if it doesn't have Bluetooth. Okay, here's going to be my guess of what happened. He had a Bluetooth receiver either built in, either a card that connected to the motherboard, or that was a USB receiver. And sometimes it can be tiny, so like if he was unplugging stuff, he might not have even seen it to pull it out. Like it would fit in a USB slot, but it would like stick out just that far. So you'd have to pull it out like that. And so he said, it wasn't a problem until I had my PC shipped for repairs after I was having issues with the display. So if he shipped it away and they replaced the motherboard, then his USB receiver could have been gone. Okay, and further thoughts. The Googled the computer and did not see Bluetooth mentioned as being part of the specs on both Amazon and the manufacturers. MFG. Websites. You may have had a USB receiver on it, and or a PCI card, and when you shipped it off, they could have replaced the motherboard, but even if not, the Bluetooth receiver could have been separated from the motherboard and not put back on for the trip back to you. They are very, let's see. So check your documentation to see if the one you bought had it included. Beyond that, they are very cheap, like $6. Get a receiver. The problem is that the motherboard is not seeing it, so if it's on there, it's disabled, or if it's not built in, that's why it's not in device manager, because it doesn't exist. Alright, that's more than I would normally type, but I felt sorry for my boy. Alright. How can I know if my PC has a virus? If you clicked on something you shouldn't have, probably. This is from Levon's AJ. Someone was trying to get into my bank account, and I don't know any other way for them to have my info, so I'm guessing there's a virus on my PC. But I've scanned with Windows Defender and did a full scan, but nothing. How can I know if he has a, like this says, this tells him the malware guide, and this said Hitman Pro, this poster, this commenter told him to do. So that's what I should do. But also, unfortunately, we just don't know. Maybe he just got an email that said something has been trying to get into his bank account, like a phishing one, getting you to try to click on something so that then you actually do give them bank account access. So, but that's going in the right area there to see if there's any malware on there. VSync not working in full screen. Have a 165 hertz screen, and the frames per second FPS goes up to 300 FPS. When I run the game in boardedness, it suddenly locks to 165 FPS. What the hell? This is specifically with one game going on. That could be with the game itself. That could be something with that monitor and the borderless. It could also be the screen itself. Does it say? Doesn't say if it's a laptop. Let's see. Full screen borderless and full screen are totally different. Borderless will cap your frame rate, whereas true full. What does that say? What does that say? Reveal spoiler. Why is that on there? Usually, why is that a spoiler? Usually, well, a true full screen will utilize your hardware to it is full potential. There's no apostrophe when you do the it's full potential to show possession there to the potential belonging to it. No apostrophe there. Apostrophe means it's a contraction. It is. That's weird. Could have sworn the caps worked on my full screen on my old monitor. Maybe did on your old monitor. That's your old monitor, not the new monitor. So those are different. Alright, what time is it? Alright, we're doing well here. This is from Razer Kiyo. I bumped my power strip and my computer turned off and now it's unresponsive. Oh no. Bumped power strip, computer just turned off. Now when I turn it on, an error appears saying recovery. Your PC device needs to be repaired. A required device isn't connected or can't be accessed. Error code 0xc0008. Let's see what the comment is. Did it disconnect a power cord or did it shake your computer case? Maybe there's something loose there now. Yeah, if the data drive is corrupted in some way, yeah, because it would not. It would not, if it didn't see the hard drive at all, it would prompt for a boot device. So it is seeing that the hard drive is there and it apparently got corrupted, and that can happen if your computer suddenly shuts off. That's why you have to do the start, shut down. That way it stops reading and writing because it's constantly reading and writing to the hard drive, even if it's a not a spinning drive, even if it's a solid state drive. Windows is constantly writing and reading, and if it just all of a sudden the power is gone when it's in the middle of that, then you could get some corruption that way. So you do need to use recovery tools. You can use Windows install a USB device, boot up to that, and do the install procedure up to where it gives you the option to repair at the bottom. It says repair. Yeah, if the drive is not encrypted. If it's encrypted, you got problems. Is this your own PC or work school one? Yeah, because then you should let them deal with it. But if it's your PC, yeah, you just try it. You run the Windows install. If you don't have one of those, you can make a Windows 10 USB installer. You just get a USB flash drive and you go to a working computer and you go to Microsoft.com. Make sure you don't go anywhere else. Make sure it's Microsoft.com. And you download the Windows 10 or 11, depending on whatever operating system you had on there. You download that install file. It downloads an executable file, and that executable file will start a program, and that will create your USB bootable device with the install files on there, and which you can also do a repair with that. Phone. I left a Instagram group chat when I got added back. I couldn't see any of the past messages. Recently left an Instagram group chat. When I was added back into it, I couldn't see any of the past messages or photos that I had sent, that other people had sent. Yeah, I don't know about that. Just normal was added in different group chat. Got a feeling I was added in a different one. It has the same name, and the group chat is usually very active. So far, it hasn't been at all, making me wonder if it is a possibility. It is possible. It's possible it could be a different one. Or if you left it, it may delete all your stuff from that group chat. It may not stay there for people to enjoy and for you to enjoy if you come back to it again. Window from Minnow Baby 67. PC can connect to the internet, but only for certain things. Hello, I've been having this issue since yesterday, and it's kind of hard to explain, so I'll try the best as I can. So yesterday I was trying to boot a game via the Blizzard app, and it wasn't working. And so I uninstalled the app. The download on the app would then get stuck at a certain point and would never finish downloading. Got kind of sick of this, so I decided time for factory reset of my PC, only to find out that I'm still having the issue. I'm able to use browsers, which is where I'm writing this from. Yep. Though I'm unable to finish installs on certain things. Steam, Battle.net, I think. And also cannot connect to my Microsoft account or even scan for Windows updates. I got some screen grabs too, but hell, does anybody know what the actual issue is or how to fix it? Then I'll see the screen grabs. How did you do? It's not like an Android phone. Did you format and reinstall new Windows and solve the issue? Yeah, sorry, that's what I did. Although I had done it via the recovery settings. Yeah, I don't know. You could have some. You could have bad hardware in there somewhere, like the memory of the drive. Bad because if you do a factory reset, it should wipe all corruption out and give you basically a fresh install of Windows. The factory reset means just that. It is like you just got it out of the PC. So if you're having problem and you do a factory reset of it and you still have problems, the problem isn't the software, isn't the operating system, it is the hardware. So you got some kind of hardware problem, I would think, unless the reset files are corrupted, which that could happen too. And so in that case, you would again get a Windows 10 or 11 USB drive, flash drive, and do a fresh install that way. And then if you still have problems, then it's definitely a hardware problem of some type. You got bad memory or bad hard drive. Even a solid state drive, they can go bad. Just not as many of them go bad. They don't go bad as often, but they do go bad. So that's all I got there. Downloaded Tor browser to see what the fuzz is about. Yeah, that's bad. I mean, in general, just because you hear people talking about it, if your browsers work fine, then you don't need to, deal with that. Especially when you download, where you downloaded it from, and this is on a Mac. After trying to delete it, still have a removable medium called Tor browser on Mac. But I can't delete. Yeah. I've not heard. I can't remember if I've heard of that or not. There's some browsers that like malware people will include in their malware, where it will download and install that, and that's the only thing that works. They basically shut down all the rest of your internet. And the only thing that works is that particular browser to go to that particular website to arrange for giving them money, basically. So as far as like specifics on the Mac specifics, I have no idea. Let's see, right click and press eject. Okay, so basically that looks like it's a removable medium. That basically is it's like if you put in a CD, but it's virtual. It's just an installed program, but it acts the same way as if you put in a CD or DVD, and you can right click and eject like that as well. It says medium Tor browser is currently in use by the Finder and cannot be ejected in the Finder action, and then try to eject the medium. Again, it closed every task in Taskmaster. Yeah, but if it's integrated with the Finder, there's probably other things to do to shut that down. Yeah, restart and try to activity monitor, force quit Finder. And try to eject again, yeah. New start fixed problem, thanks, awesome. Yep. Since the question is answered already, why did you need Tor at all? The only special thing about it for most people is to access the deep web. I wanted to have a look at the deep web. Look at a couple sites on WikiHow or whatever it's called, and I thought it was pretty boring. Alright, yeah. Yeah, those crazy kids today. This is writer brief. Crazy kids today wanna see what's on the dark web. Only look at the light web. Alright, iPhone 11 storage almost full. How? But half of the space is taken up by a category called other. Alright. Yeah, no clue about how that's divided up. But let's look to see what the answer is. Maybe it can be a mystery, exactly what it is. Often data cached by various apps. This article offers some suggestions. Okay. I heard plugging phone into computer and using iTunes to sync or backup device will purge that data. As we heard. All right. Yeah. And as soon as I saw often data cached by various apps, the first thing I thought of was Catch Me Outside. Cash Me Outside is how she pronounced it. That girl is a Richie today. Anyway, Ooga Boogaloos. In the Windows issue, computer only opening certain apps. And in case you're old like me and didn't realize, apps are programs, and even on computers now they're calling it apps. If you go to if you click the start button on Windows 10 and click settings, and then you see it doesn't say programs anymore, it says apps for you to add or remove apps. There's no add or remove programs. Basically, only some websites on Google are loading. Everything else, including most pages, Discord, Steam, all my other apps, etc., can't connect to the internet. Try disabling firewalls, reconnecting to my internet, restarting PC, nothing works. I also sometimes get disconnected from my internet. I don't know if that's if it's the cause, but I recently plugged in my Ethernet cable into a PC that I had just built and didn't have Wi-Fi. That doesn't matter. No thoughts yet on it. Boom, 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 boom. Most pages not working. No, I have no idea on that. Why some would work and some would not. So basically, like, to me, that means you go to Amazon.com and that loads, but then you go to BestBuy.com and it doesn't load. And so what's the difference? And sometimes it can be if the time is set incorrectly, like bank websites often will not open if your time is not set to the correct time. So it could be something like that. I'm at a loss on that one. That's one that I would have to have my hands on if it's just that information that you have there. So, I mean, you can plug another computer in. Yeah, I'll tell them to do that. Connect a different computer to your internet and see if the same problem exists. Because then that way you know if the problem's with the computer or with the internet, i.e. the cable modem and router. Alrighty, remove 20 gigabytes of files from hard drive. The next day it's back to almost full. Okay, so you're either having an error that is being logged over and 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 over again in the event log, which previously was talked about. Somebody was told to check their event logs to see if it would give an idea as far as to what was causing the blue screen, I believe is what the problem was, but it was basically to get there and look for any kind of errors. The background is, I like the breakdown here, the outline here. Background. I'm a software developer and have used a Windows PC daily for about 10 years now. I'm unfamiliar with the software mentioned below, but I'm still capable of providing log files or anything like that. I'm using Windows 10 currently. The chain of events. Like the 24 clock where you see it counting down. I recently migrated some of my largest folders onto a separate hard drive and deleted a lot of files, clearing around 20 gigabytes of memory from my main hard drive. The next day, the very next day, you gave it away. The same hard drive was full again. Merry Christmas, everybody. There was something strange that happened when I was having this clear up. I don't know. The problem is still there. I don't know what having. I tried to uninstall Microsoft SQL Server Data Tools Visual Studio 2017 on the same day. However, it seemed like it was updating rather than uninstalling. At first, I closed out of it and tried again, but it did the same thing. So I assumed it was installing something required for clean uninstallment. Maybe. I still don't see how this would be around 20 gigabytes though. I can confirm that when I uninstall it, it did indeed install an update as it's at the top of the install date filter. The next problem I have is that in storage, my device appears to have 115 gigabyte worth of applications, which doesn't seem correct when I actually look at them. Only the top 4 are over 1 gigabyte when filtered by size, with the largest one being 2.14 gigabytes. SQL install mentioned earlier. What I've tried clearing the recycle bin and other temporary files scanned with malware bytes. I've also uninstalled his Microsoft SQL Server Data Tools to no avail. It seems to update each time I try to uninstall, but then when it ends with the update failed. Okay, so something is screwy in that. You can see if there is a manual removal tool, a manual removal instructions or a removal tool for that. Yeah. Is it WinDirect? Yeah, WinDirstat. That will see what that will give you a. There's also an old one. Oh, Tree Size Free is a program also that will show you with the data amount in any folder and subfolders. So, but this says the same thing, I think. Let's see, I don't know if that's I'm running it. You can only see my browser. You can't see my computer thing. No, it's not. So it must be let's look for that. Nice computer. Wish I had a $1,200 computer. Was it my day to give her own phone line? I'll have my own phone line. Yeah, you just download that. Yeah, it's program. Windows Directory Statistics. Oh, it says it right there. I was trying to figure it out. I thought I was being cool and translating it for you, but it's right there. Says it right there. Okay. So yeah, but that will show you, and I've used that several times. Not. I may have actually used that one time, but I think normally I use Tree Size Free, and that will show you and list the folders in size order, and it shows you where all that data is. And the last time I used that, it was indeed in the event log folder, and it was an error that was constantly happening and constantly being logged. like every second it was being logged again and again and again, over and over and over and over and over. So if you leave the computer on, it keeps doing that and eventually fills the hard drive. And I'm trying to remember how I can't remember if a program was causing the error and I removed the program, or it was a drive or something like that, a piece of hardware that was causing, and I removed that. But I can't remember. I fixed it though somehow. King of computers. All right. I fear that I may have bought a fake micro SD. Okay, well, those are very cheap. So, oh, I see. I bought a SanDisk Extreme micro SD from Walmart.com, and there's a few red flags I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on. Haven't even tested the speed, etc. Why would you need to do that? But it came in an Extreme Pro package, despite the card only saying Extreme. I ordered an Extreme, not Pro. The back is plastic, unlike what I've usually seen on these. Metal back. Biggest red flag is the pixelated packaging as seen in the picture. I'm fairly certain at that point that it's fake. Alright, well, let's take a look. I don't know. I don't know why I would have that marking on there. Yeah, I don't know that you can tell by that, but I mean the card itself looks fine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you can tell. Return it. Did it come from Walmart itself, or did it come from a third party seller on Walmart.com? Alrighty. GPU too hot. Again, this is a graphics processing unit. That means video card. Sup guys, this is from MF Martin. Sup guys, I've been having some issues with my GPU, an RX 480. That is an AMD Radeon video card. Let's see, manufactured by MSI. The temperature while idle is 55 degrees Celsius right now. Got to nearly 85 Celsius while under some load, not even 100. One of my friends told me to undervolt it. Definitely do whatever your friends tell you to do. Don't. As far as I know, there are no other apps running. Also, they are not bad reading. Since I opened my case, touched the GPU as I hotter than usual while idle. Alright, I don't know if not American, not English, or what. So they're not bad reading since I opened my case. Touch the GPU as I hotter than usual while I'm idle. Yeah, I don't know. If you're undervolting it, overvolting it, you're playing around with overclocking, set it to the right voltage is what I would suggest. And then, now you say you've been having some issues with it. What kind of issues? Some people make up computer problems, or they are overly concerned about issues that are not issues. I mean, lately I've been having some issues with GPU. If he says it won't play a game, that's one thing. If it won't play a game it's supposed to be able to play. But if you're being overly concerned with temperatures, I mean, the temperature 85 is Celsius is even fine for a video card. As long as the fans on it are spinning, it should be fine. As far as undervolting and overvolting it, I would run it at the voltage it's supposed to be. Run at. Alrighty. Software MSI G273 flashing random colors. Set up my new G273 monitor with my Xbox One, and it's flashing red, green, and blue, white, gray, and checkered. Does anyone know how to fix this? I've been looking on Google for hours. Nobody has solutions. I believe the issue is that it isn't on the correct input, but I'm unable to switch it because the joystick menu doesn't show up. No comments on that yet. Yeah, I don't know about that particular monitor, but if the flashing on there, the joystick menu would show up on it if the screen was working okay. Even if it's not receiving video signal from the Xbox One, the monitor, you should be able to do that. I will inform the person. Let's see. This is public payment 9233. Let's see. Disconnect the Xbox from it. Turn it on. If you don't get the menu there, it's a bad monitor. All right. Alrighty. This is from Hemingford Gray. A kiss by your rose on the gray. Hardware. 1 GPU. Remember what that is, kids? Graphical processing unit equals video card. Fan spins very loudly at 3 times the other one for day. At 3 times the other for 1 day after heavy usage. After a day of heavy gaming, 6+ hours, one fan, and that must be fun to be able to do that for 6 hours. One fan in my GPU will spin at 3 times the rate of the other fan when under load. I've noticed this only happens if I play for a long time in 1 day, and then I have to give the GPU a day off from gaming for it not to do this anymore. I've noticed it doesn't happen if I only game for a few hours, say on a weekday, but if I play for a long time on a weekend day, alright. Sorry for judging you. Yeah, you might have 6 hours off on a week if you don't work on the weekend. So, the next day the fans will be acting up. The GPU temperature hovers around 70 to 73 degrees when playing something like Warzone, and that's fine. That's even like Celsius. That's not shouldn't be a problem as long as the fans are spinning at all. But it could be the fan is having an issue, maybe bearings or something happening with that, getting loose or something like that. So you could try to replace the fan itself. But like after 6 hours, it's gonna be hot, and so they're supposed to spin. Why that one's spinning faster, it could be because it's not spinning correctly because it's broken. So you can try to do that. You can try to switch them and see if that one does it. If you switch them and the one on the same side does it, even though you switched them, if both of them do it when it's in the one spot, then that means that the card is reporting it that way, and the card is making it do that, and so that's the card itself. So Let's see, what do we got? Oh, for example, Saturday, game for 6 hours, turn the computer off overnight. Sunday, turn the computer on and load up Call of Duty Warzone after it's been off for 10 plus hours, and the second span fins it. Yeah, that's after, after it's been off 10 plus hours, it should be cold. You know, it shouldn't be hot anymore, and so that shouldn't affect it. So I would think the second fan may have a problem. Or the first fan does. Maybe the first fan's spinning too slow. I didn't think about that. I don't know off the top of my head what it would be spinning at. So after no gaming the previous day, the fans will not act up anymore and spin at normal revolutions per minute while gaming. And what's that? Set up manual fan curves using MSI Afterburner, right? That's what you can set. And this did nothing, and GPU ignored any curve I set and set one fan to 1500 and the other 4500. Okay, like I said, switch them around to see if it does the same thing just on one side of the card. And if it does that on one side of the card, it's the card causing the problem. If it does it on the other side of the card, then it's that fan that's the problem. So there you go. Yeah, you could reapply thermal paste, so wouldn't hurt anything. RTX 2070 Jelly. I got a 1050 Ti. Oh, GTX, not even RTX. So, oh, if you guys are into gaming, if you haven't seen the new Unreal 5 demo, there's a bunch of them on, a bunch of videos about it on YouTube. Check it out. The game looks like an actual movie. So much detail. Already looked at that. That's not what I wanted to do. What time is it? 9:05. Oh, okay. One more. Let's see. I'm not gonna do Ubuntu. I don't know anything about it. Let's see. Clown _hand. Accidentally removed all Bluetooth related devices through Device Manager, trying to fix missing Bluetooth toggle slider on Bluetooth tab. Bluetooth toggle on Bluetooth tab was of the configurations was missing, and it was not appearing on my notifications bar. I thought the problem was my driver's Windows update told me I had already, and so the Dell update checker went to Device Manager Bluetooth and started removing all devices listed. That did not change a thing, except now Windows Bluetooth Troubleshooter thinks my computer does not support Bluetooth. Right, it's not seeing it, and so that was the problem. That was why you were having the missing slider, because it's not seeing that Bluetooth is there. So much like the other one, let's see, restore Windows, but the problem remains. Yeah, if device manager doesn't list Bluetooth devices, okay, either would, if it had Bluetooth devices on it that were working correctly, it would either list them in Device Manager, or it would, if it didn't have the right drivers, it would list them as under other. It would list them as like an unknown device. It would say on there if it didn't have that. If it used generic drivers, it would be listed under Bluetooth in there, and so it's not seeing it. So just like the other one, where dude had Bluetooth and then he sent his computer away to be fixed, and then he didn't have Bluetooth, and I'm guessing either maybe they've replaced the motherboard on his computer, and therefore took if he had a PCI Express Bluetooth receiver on the board, or a Bluetooth receiver card that fits in the motherboard, or a one of those very small USB that fits into the back of the computer into the motherboard. And if they took that out, or if they didn't even take it out, if they just took the one motherboard out and threw it away because he said he was having trouble with video, so if they took that motherboard out and gave him a brand new motherboard, it would not have had his Bluetooth receiver in there. So I think it's the same way. So, all right, device manager is not seeing the hardware receiver, hardware Bluetooth receiver. So if you have one built onto the motherboard, it could be it could be disabled in the BIOS. If you have a PCI Express Bluetooth receiver card or a USB receiver, they could just be broken. Try removing and reconnecting. A new Bluetooth USB receiver is very cheap on the internet or a big computer store. Alright. Okay, so it's 9:10. I told my son I'd watch an episode of Star Wars Rebels with him. I haven't seen that one. I watched all the Clone Wars, but I never watched Rebels because I got tired of Star Wars cartoons.